One looking from afar, the sky where Mu Yuyang was standing was covered by dark clouds. Countless sword chis poured down like furious dragons, causing everything within to be unable to hide. Mu Yuyang was like a god as he pointed the heavenly net sword in his hand at the void. Endless silver light sprinkled down and dyed the latter like a god. Impossible, he has actually just taken a look at the power of space. Could it be that this fellow is destined to become a heavenly venerate? Xu Xing had extensive knowledge and saw what was controlled by Mu Yuyang. The sky was filled with terror as he spoke in a trembling voice. How is this possible? An arrogant kid could become a heavenly sovereign? What a joke! Veins popped out on Xu Lia's forehead, and the axe in his hand roared like a furious python. The sword chi dragons that were approaching him shattered, and their chi shook the mountains and rivers. Kill him! At this moment, Xu Xing's eyes finally revealed a boundless killing intent. If he had shown mercy because he cherished Mu Yuyang's talent earlier. At this moment, he had completely exposed his killing intent. Damn it! Upon hearing Xu Xing's words, Luo Jun almost cursed out loudly in his heart. This bastard had been holding back all this while. He looked down and saw that dozens of his subordinates had fallen to the ground. Luo Jun's facial expression suddenly changed, and he hurriedly looked at Zhao Qingshan. The latter's body stiffened, and under Luo Jun's ugly gaze, his body slowly fell to the ground, as if his soul had been shattered. This little bastard. Fury raged in Luo Jun's heart. His murderous eyes suddenly turned to Xiao Yan. If he had known this would happen, he would have killed him right away. That bastard Wai Tong, didn't he just say that? Is it just Mu Yuyang? Who is this guy? The tragic death of his subordinate made Luo Jun's heart ache. When he saw Xiao Yan holding the huge rock and feeling powerless, Luo Jun was just about to dash forward to kill him when Mu Yuyang's 10,000 sword dragons roared and enveloped the three of them in an instant. That old thing, he also has the strength of a 6th Dao monarch emperor, but he was able to kill him. Mu Yuyang looked at Xiao Yan in the distance, and a strange expression flashed across his cold eyes. After that, he laughed lightly. It was indeed worthy of being called a saint-rank trial participant. Back when he killed the monarch emperor, he was much stronger than the current Xiao Yan. In the end, the 4 academies competition will have to rely on you. After saying that to himself, Mu Yuyang's expression turned cold once again. Looking at the 3 men who were struggling crazily in the sword chi, the corners of his mouth curled up. A fierce expression appeared between his brows, and then he flicked his wrist. Another long sword appeared in his hand. If one looked closely, one would notice that the patterns on the 2 swords were extremely compatible, as if they were one. The aura on the swords circulated, emitting the same spirituality. Obviously, these 2 swords belong to the heaven grade. Heavenly net transforms yin and yang. Mu Yuyang moved both of his hands. The chi on the 2 swords surged, as if the yin and yang had merged together, urging the heaven and earth to become even more violent. Hong! A bright lightning bolt suddenly exploded. Immediately after that, countless of sword chi spread out the chi of yin and yang, instantly increasing the power of the sword chi. Xiao Yan held onto the giant rock and looked at the battle in the sky. Mu Yuyang held his sword with both hands and surrounded the 3 peak of monarch emperor warriors. His sleeves fluttered in the wind, making him look extremely elegant. This is Mu Yuyang's true strength. There is still a huge gap between them. Xiao Yan pursed his lips and sighed. He swallowed a medicine pill and quickly recovered the origin monarch chi that he had consumed. Compared to the pain in his body, the injury to his soul was very weak. Obviously, the training of the prestige power spell had an obvious effect. Boom! The sword chi was like a dragon, under Mu Yuyang's control. Hong! The sword chi struck Luo Jun and the other 2 men. For the first time, fear emerged in the eyes of Xu Xing and his brother. They had heard about how powerful Mu Yuyang, the #1 genius of Yunluo, was, but they had never thought that he would be so powerful. Given their strength, they could do whatever they wanted in Capital of Chaos. But now, the 3 of them had joined forces. They didn't even have the strength to fight back. Let's go! Under Mu Yuyang's great Luo heaven, he couldn't exert 50% of his strength. It also made Xu Xing feel extremely aggrieved. The omnipresent sword chi was like maggots attached to his bones. It continuously consumed their origin monarch chi. When Mu Yuyang unleashed his strongest attack, Xu Xing had completely given up on the idea of killing the former. Although he would be able to break the Great Luo Heaven even if he was severely injured. However, their main target this time was the dark golden beast in Silver Moon Mountain, not this evil god in front of them. As soon as his voice faded, Xu Xing let out an angry shout. The origin chi on his body flashed like a multicolored light. In an instant, it blocked the dense sword chi. After that, his body flashed and he fled into the distance. Although Xu Lia was unwilling to accept this, he knew the severity of the matter. This dark golden beast was the oldest ancient species in the Silver Moon Mountain. It had a trace of the bloodline of the black tortoise in its body, and it was at least 100,000 years old. It usually lived deep underground and slept for a long time. It was not easy for it to appear when it was giving birth. This opportunity was obviously countless times more important than killing Mu Yuyang. As this thought flashed through his mind, Xu Lia roared furiously. The huge axe in his hand suddenly slashed down, drawing out two bright rays of light that shook the sword chi in front of him. Taking advantage of this short period of time, Xu Lia had already shot out like a ray of light. Without the combined efforts of the two of them, the pressure Luo Jun faced instantly increased. His facial expression changed drastically. Although he was furious in his heart, he had no other choice but to think at this moment. In the face of the death of countless of his subordinates, he could only grit his teeth and swallow them. He waved the short halberd in his hand and was about to escape. "You can't leave." Xu Xing and Xu Lia were not in the mood to continue fighting and hastily fled. Mu Yuyang glanced at the two of them and didn't plan to chase after them. Although the two of them seemed to be in a sorry state, they didn't suffer any serious injuries. If they were really angered, even he would find it very troublesome and let the two of them escape. Looking at Luo Jun who was about to escape, Mu Yuyang chuckled. The two swords in his hands joined together, and a faintly discernible dragon roar echoed through the sky. Mu Yuyang's figure flashed slightly, and he arrived next to Luo Jun. "Mu Yuyang, you!" Seeing Mu Yuyang's sudden appearance, Luo Jun's eyes almost popped out of their sockets. The ferocious aura emitted from the former's body made even him shocked. Immediately, he shouted out furiously. "Hong!" Sword chi soared into the sky. It struck Luo Jun's left arm with lightning-like speed. With a miserable cry, Luo Jun's left arm separated from his arm and fell to the ground. "Hu!" Xiao Yan let out a soft sigh. When he opened his eyes, he saw Mu Yuyang landing on the ground. Luo Jun's corpse also fell onto the ground. After seeing everything clearly with his soul, Xiao Yan was secretly amazed. Mu Yuyang's decisiveness in killing was not much weaker than Lin Dao's. "You are very strong." Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang spoke at the same time. Their words were surprisingly the same. After a moment of surprise, both of them smiled. Cough. Mu Yuyang coughed lightly. His face quickly turned pale. With his current strength, he would need to consume a large amount of origin cheese to unleash the third sky of the Great Luo. The mental energy consumption would be even more severe. Xiao Yan was just about to speak when his expression suddenly changed. His sharp eyes looked towards the distant horizon. At that spot, several rays of light were rushing towards the deep mountains. There were nearly 5 or 6 of them. Clearly, these people were at least monarch-emperor level expert. It seems like the news of Heavenly Beast giving birth in Silver Moon Mountain is correct. However, how did it attract so many people? Mu Yuyang had also sensed it. He looked into the distance and muttered softly. 1 inch those two are from the Mercenary Alliance? Is the headquarters of the Mercenary Alliance located in the capital of Chaos? After regaining his senses, Xiao Yan looked at Mu Yuyang and asked in a deep voice. He remembered that Li Zan was a member of the Mercenary Alliance back in the pill competition of the Spirit Heaven Mansion. His background wasn't weak at all. His grandfather, Li Xianfeng, was also known as the Assassin of the Ghost Venerable. The battle of Heavenly Sovereign in the spiritual Sky City was still fresh in his mind. There is only a branch of Mercenary Alliance in the capital of Chaos, and they are pretty strong. As for the headquarters, I don't know. Shaking his head, Mu Yuyang stood up and picked up Luo Jun's storage ring. Looking at the numerous corpses around him, he pondered for a moment and said, "Since my whereabouts on this expedition have been discovered, there must be someone in the academy who leaked the information. There must be a spy among the elders. It's Elder Wei?" Xiao Yan's heart trembled. He had always thought that the person who knew about this matter the person who knew that Mu Yuyang might be in danger, had secretly sent him here to save Mu Yuyang's life at this critical moment. Maybe, Mu Yuyang vaguely said, he had the same thought as Xiao Yan. No matter what, this Elder Wei was the main suspect. There are 3 tasks for the graduation exam. The first task is to kill a person in the top 50 of the fierce ranking. Luo Jun is ranked 28th, and he has met the requirements. As they talked, the two of them left the place. Mu Yuyang nodded slightly, and a smile appeared on his face. Then he looked into the depths of the Silver Moon Mountain and thought for a moment. Suddenly, he turned his gaze to Xiao Yan and said, "The Silver Moon essence in the Dark Golden Beast is formed by the pure energy of the Silver Moon refined iron. It is very beneficial to the forging of a heavenly weapon. It just so happens that you need the Heavenly Beast's blood essence. What do you think about joining forces with us?" Xiao Yan was slightly startled when he heard Mu Yuyang's invitation. After a moment, he smiled and agreed without much thought. "All right." Mu Yuyang also smiled when he saw this. He said in a deep voice, "The Dark Golden Beast is the heavenly beast with the longest lifespan in the Silver Moon Mountain. There are even rumors that it is as old as the capital of chaos. The growth of this heavenly beast is slow. It has been sleeping underground since it was born. It will only wake up once when it is giving birth." Pausing for a moment, Mu Yuyang continued, "However, the probability of the Dark Golden Beast giving birth is too low. Because they are very old, they are practically immortal species. Therefore, there is no need for them to give birth. This time, the Dark Golden Beast giving birth in the Silver Moon Mountain will probably shake the entire capital of chaos." "The entire capital of chaos?" Xiao Yan frowned slightly when he heard this. This way, it would be extremely difficult to obtain the blood essence in the Dark Golden Beast's body. "You might not understand it yet." Mu Yuyang narrowed his eyes and said, "Although this Dark Golden Beast has only reached the Emperor cultivation level, its life force and defensive strength are extremely strong. I believe that even the all-out attack of a Monarch cultivation warrior wouldn't be able to harm it at all. Therefore, none of us can harm it, let alone kill it." The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth twitched when he heard this. A full force attack from a Monarch cultivation warrior couldn't even hurt it. With their strength, there was nothing they could do about it. However, it is precisely because of its exuberant vitality that some of the blood essence in its body is used up. Also, because it has just given birth, the flow of blood essence in its body is even faster. We just need to find the right time and attack its weakest spot. There is a high possibility that we will obtain the blood essence. Mu Yuyang patted the dust off his body and spoke with confidence. "Weakness." Xiao Yan nodded after hearing what Mu Yuyang said. He could not help but smile bitterly. The weakest part of this guy's body was probably as hard as iron. "The Silver Moon essence that I need is floating around every drop of blood essence. When the time comes, it will be perfect for both of us. We just need to leave." Mu Yuyang was extremely confident as he spoke in a clear voice. Xiao Yan nodded his head. He didn't know what to say, but this was the only solution he could come up with. Two Saint-rank trial participants working together, I'm looking forward to it. Looking at Xiao Yan, who was meditating with his eyes closed, Mu Yuyang mumbled to himself. After that, he found a secluded spot and sat down cross-legged to adjust his breathing. After that, there was going to be a big battle. In the depths of Silver Moon Mountain, there were many layers of mountains. Numerous extremely dangerous giant veins were prostrating on the ground like dragons. In the depths of the mountain in the center, there was an incomparably huge and restless beast. The beast had powerful limbs, but its movements were extremely slow. Upon closer inspection, it looked like a huge turtle. It was the Dark Golden Beast. Boom! Boom! The Dark Golden Beast, which had just given birth, appeared to be exceptionally violent. Its 4 hooves stomped continuously, causing huge pits to appear on the ground. The carapace on its back almost covered its entire body, only revealing a relatively soft neck and a ferocious head. Although the small Dark Golden Beast that had just been produced was weak, it was still the size of an adult. It was protected by the Dark Golden Beast below its body, isolating it from all external injuries. At this moment, there were numerous figures on the few large veins surrounding the Dark Golden Beast. There were already hundreds of people. This big fellow's strength is not strong. It's just that its defense is ridiculously high. Even Big Brother Shui's heavenly weapon is useless against it. On a mountain range, a young man in gray clothes bared his teeth and complained to a black-robed old man in front of him. Black-robed old man chuckled lightly when he heard this. He looked not far away and saw a young man in red standing straight like an unsheathed sword. His eyes revealed a frightening killing intent, causing the elites of the Ghost Hawks to avoid him. Gang-ur is still young and vigorous. The defensive power of the Dark Golden Beast is so high that even if he were to lie down and let it hit him, he wouldn't be harmed in the slightest. Look at all the people around, they are all waiting for it to weaken. Black-robed old man looked at the people around him. He had seen quite a number of these people. They were all famous figures in Capital of Chaos. They had brought their elite subordinates here and were wondering if they could get a share of the profits. It's ridiculous to say that. The Dark Golden Beast is one of the most unpopular heavenly beasts. Even the blood essence in one's body doesn't have the ability to prolong one's life. Its defense is ridiculously strong. Only the people of the Mercenary Alliance would try to get a share of it. After saying that, the old man glanced at the crowd once again, then he turned to the young man beside him and said, "Look, among the people who came this time, I don't see any of those old monsters. I estimate that there are only around 10 Monarch Emperor warriors, and the rest are all emperors like you." The young man curled his lips when he heard this. He had heard about the Dark Golden Beast from the experts in the sect. At least in Capital of Chaos, no one dared to say that they could hunt the Dark Golden Beast. Most of the people who came were aiming for the Silver Moon essence in the latter's body. Find the right time and break its skin. This big guy has been sleeping underground for countless years. Its chi and blood are probably overflowing. As long as I can open up a little wound, I will be able to obtain the Silver Moon essence. The old man said softly, and then a flash of joy appeared in his eyes. He mumbled to himself, "When the time comes, we can ask Profound Emperor to refine a true mid-grade heavenly weapon for us Ghost Hawks. Even if it doesn't work, we can still refine the Ghost King spear in Ganger's hand to the peak of the low-grade heavenly weapon. After that, we won't be at a disadvantage when compared to Lin Dao's Imperial Dragon Point Blue Spear in the Yunluo Academy." Quote, "One within the dense primitive forest, the Dark Golden Beast's enormous body finally felt tired. It no longer trampled all over the place as it slowly lay on the ground. There was a large hole in the ground below its body. The small Dark Golden Beast was attached to its mother's stomach as it rested in the hole. The bright red eyes looked around. The Dark Golden Beast also discovered the people on the surrounding mountain range. Immediately, it extended its neck and roared. The sound waves spread apart, causing the surrounding cliffs to crack. The long years of slumber underground had also caused the Dark Golden Beast to not be able to speak like other Emperor cultivation heavenly beasts. It could only use its roar to warn everyone. What a powerful sound wave! Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang arrived at this place very quickly. They just happened to hear the roar of the Dark Golden Beast. The sound wave was so strong that even the mountains seemed to be trembling. The Dark Golden Beast is sleeping underground. The cave was penetrated by the sharp claws and sound waves. Other than that, there aren't any other powerful attacks. Mu Yuyang, who was standing at the side, narrowed his eyes and looked at the Dark Golden Beast in the distance as he spoke in a soft voice. Xiao Yan also cast his gaze at the Dark Golden Beast. He saw the old shell on the latter's body, which was covered with mysterious patterns. It looked like it was cracked and scattered in all directions. No one knew what it was. "Xiao Yan, this guy has the bloodline of the Profound Tortoise in his body. We must find a way to obtain a drop of blood essence. At that time, he will be able to cultivate the profound martial arts." While Xiao Yan was pondering, the Xiao that had been silent in his body for many days suddenly spoke. Its weak voice was filled with excitement. Profound Tortoise? Upon hearing this name, Xiao Yan's heart stirred. His eyes that were looking at the Dark Golden Beast became even brighter. Yes. It was said that the Black Tortoise split into 3 sons, Man-Hu, the Demon Dragon, and the Black Tortoise. Among them, the Black Tortoise's blood was the thickest. This Dark Golden Beast should be the descendant of the Black Tortoise. Its bloodline was very similar to the Black Tortoise's. Tisk tisk. If I can cultivate this profound martial arts successfully, I estimate that the first style will have the power of a beginner-level monarch arts. The Xiao exclaimed in astonishment within Xiao Yan's body. With his special sensing technique, he could easily sense the bloodline power within all kinds of devil beasts. Upon hearing this, Xiao Yan couldn't help but take a deep breath. but his expression remained unchanged. If what the Xiaoao said was true, his strength would definitely soar. It's starting to rest. Pay attention to the others. We'll attack as soon as they attack. Mu Yuyang stared at the changes in the dark golden beast and reminded him in a low voice. Xiao Yan came back to his senses and nodded with a solemn expression. This time, whether it was for Xuan or himself, they would definitely obtain the blood essence of the dark golden beast. Kai, someone finally could not hold back when they saw the dark golden beast crouching down. His body rushed forward like a ray of light. The origin chi in his hands surged. In an instant, it transformed into a dagger that was a couple of feet long. It violently stabbed toward the neck of the dark golden beast that was exposed. The dark golden beast was large in size. Its movements were naturally exceptionally slow. It had been sleeping underground all year round, causing its senses to be extremely blurry. It was unable to swiftly dodge this ferocious attack. Its neck was directly struck by the enormous dagger. Crack! The sound of an origin chi exploding suddenly sounded. Following which, everyone saw that the man who had charged forward earlier had been blasted flying by a huge force. His hand had cracked and blood was dripping from his hand. However, there was actually not the slightest injury on the dark golden beast's neck. What an amazing man! This is even more exaggerated than what was recorded in the ancient books. A monarch emperor's full-force attack didn't even leave a scratch on him. Upon seeing this, many people in the surroundings sucked in a breath of cold air. The defensive strength of this tortoise was just too strong. Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang stood in the crowd and didn't make a move. They quietly observed the actions of the dark golden beast. The dagger just now was powerful enough to kill an ordinary emperor, but it didn't make the dark golden beast feel anything. Su! Suddenly, a long black spear shot up into the sky. The spear was surrounded by black chi. The sound it made sounded like the cries of hundreds of ghosts, making people feel uncomfortable. Clang! The moment the spear flew up into the sky, a red-clothed young man leapt up, and held the spear tightly in his hand. The young man's expression was cold, and there was a deep hostility between his eyebrows. He lightly stepped in the air, and his entire body shot out like an arrow. The spear in his hand was like a black flood dragon, and it was surrounded by a deathly black chi as it roared and rushed towards the dark golden beast. Shui Gong from the Ghost Hawks. I can't believe this guy has also broken through to the monarch emperor. It seems like that battle has given him the motivation to cultivate. Mu Yuyang smiled lightly when he saw the young man in red. Clearly, he was familiar with this young man. Have you guys fought before? He looked at Shui Gang's attack. Xiao Yan asked in a low voice. Although this young man in red was strong, from the surface, he was not on the same level as Mu Yuyang. When I didn't break through to the monarch emperor, I came out to train. I ran into a monarch emperor elder from the Ghost Hawks. There was a conflict of words between them, so I killed that elder. This guy was shocked for a moment, and then he fled with his tail between his legs. It has been a long time since I last saw him. I wonder if he still recognizes an old friend. Mu Yuyang said with a light smile, and his tone was relaxed. While they were talking, Shui Gong had already rushed to the dark golden beast's side. He swept his long spear across, and a cold light erupted from the tip of the spear. Then, a flood dragon emerged from the sea and pierced towards the latter's neck. As if it had sensed Shui Gang's attack path, the dark golden beast remained motionless. Although the defense on its neck was much weaker than the other parts of its body, a mere monarch emperor could not harm it at all. The moment the tip of the spear pierced toward the dark golden beast's neck, a cold look flashed across Shui Gang's eyes. He turned his wrist, and the long spear instantly rushed forward. Like a comet striking the moon, it pierced through the dark golden beast's eyes. Oh woo! The dark golden beast let out a furious roar when its eyes were attacked. Although the other parts of its body were indestructible, the defense of its eyes was extremely fragile. After being hit by Shui Gong all of a sudden, it had never felt pain for so many years, causing the dark golden beast to instantly become furious. This kid is not bad. He took advantage of the moment when the dark golden beast was careless to hit his eyes. However, he changed his attack at the last minute, causing the power of his attack to weaken a lot. The effect isn't too obvious. On the surrounding mountain range, some of the veteran Monarch Emperor-level experts nodded their heads secretly. The defensive strength of the dark golden beast's eyelids was also extremely strong. Usually, its eyelids were tightly shut, so it wouldn't expose its weak eyes. This time, Shui Gang's reaction was slow, and it allowed him to take advantage of the situation. He suddenly blinked his eyes a couple of times. A pain was transmitted from time to time. Soon after, a blood color surged into his eyes. The blood color in his millstone-sized eyes was extremely obvious. As expected, this fellow's qi and blood are too exuberant. Even his blood essence has filled his eyes. A glint flashed across Mu Yuyang's eyes. He looked at Xiao Yan, who was standing beside him. A smile also surfaced on Xiao Yan's face. He had already made up his mind in his heart. We'll attack its eyes later. We'll leave as soon as we get the blood essence. Mu Yuyang let out a breath and told them what he and Xiao Yan were thinking. After nimbly dodging the furious attack from the dark golden beast, Shui Gong made a few somersaults and returned to the top of the mountain, then came to black-robed old man's side. Not bad, you are very flexible in your heart. Black-robed old man praised with a smile. Then, a fierce look flashed across his eyes. He said in a deep voice, "Listen to my command at that time. Attack the dark golden beast's eyes with all your strength. Open its eyelids for me." The hearts of the nearly 10 experts from the ghost hawks behind him trembled when they heard black-robed old man's words. All of them replied in a low voice. Bang! Their ferocious heads violently shook, forcing the monarch emperor warriors to retreat. Black-robed old man furrowed his brows, and said in a cold voice, "Now is the time. Gang'er, follow me." As soon as he finished speaking, black-robed old man and Shui Gong soared into the sky at the same time. Behind them, nearly 10 imperial emperors also jumped down from the peak and rushed towards the dark golden beast. At the same time, Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang moved at the same time. The fire wings on his back flapped. Although Xiao Yan's speed wasn't as fast as Mu Yuyang's, it was still a flash. At this moment, he did not have the time to save fire wings. For a moment, about 20 human figures flew into the sky above the mountain range, rushing towards the dark golden beast. There were nearly 100 of them who were like a flood, pouring down from the summit, approaching the dark golden beast. The so-called fierce ranking was just a general concept. The people on the list were all relatively famous people in some major powers, and not all the experts in Capital of Chaos. Therefore, the sudden appearance of so many unknown emperor experts on the list didn't surprise Xiao Yan. The dark golden beast was like a small mountain. When it saw so many ant-sized human pupae approaching, it roared. The mountain trembled and trembled. Then, its body curled up and did not move. Its neck also shrank into its carapace, revealing only a ferocious head. According to the legends, one of the 4 spirits, the black tortoise, had transformed into a world. It had been sleeping for countless years. When the black tortoise woke up, it would be the day of the world's destruction. Just like the old ancestor, when the dark golden beast encountered danger, it would also rely on its indestructible carapace to protect itself. No matter how the others attacked, it would not budge an inch. Boom! Countless attacks struck at the same time. The power contained within them was sufficient to destroy the mountain forest. When they struck the shell of the dark golden beast, it was as though a stone cow had entered the sea. There was not the slightest bit of movement. It's a waste of energy. An emperor cultivation level dark golden beast, even if the heavenly sovereign expert wanted to kill it, it would require a lot of effort. With just these guys, how could they possibly injure a single hair of it? In the crowd, Xu Xing, who had escaped from Mu Yuyang's hands, sneered. He wasn't in a hurry to attack. His mission this time was to find a way to obtain the essence of the silver moon in the dark golden beast's body. This fellow had been sleeping underground for countless years. Occasionally, when he was hungry, he would wake up for a short while. He would search for the purest silver moon refined iron in the entire mountain range and eat it. Over time, the silver moon essence had formed in his body. It was said that it was enough to be used to forge or strengthen heavenly weapons. The value of such a thing was almost the same as an ordinary heavenly beast's heavenly core. Shu Lia, who was beside him, rubbed his numb wrist. He looked at everyone around him viciously. As his eyes wandered, he suddenly saw Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang, who were not far away. "Big brother, it's those 2 brats." When he saw Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang, Shu Lia immediately flew into a rage, but he immediately calmed down and said in a low voice. Xu Xing narrowed his eyes. He followed Shu Lia's directions and quickly saw Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang. He thought for a moment and said in a low voice, "Don't worry about them for now. The dark golden beast is right here. No one can take it away. When the time comes, we'll act according to the situation. It's best if we don't provoke them. There are many experts here, and there are also many enemies who have grudges with the Mercenary Alliance. We don't want to give others an opportunity to take advantage of it." Shu Lia nodded his head. Although he was a reckless young man, otherwise, he would be the second head of the Mercenary Alliance in the capital of Chaos. He wouldn't be able to climb up. Mu Yuyang, while everyone was launching their attacks at the Dark Golden Beast, Shui Gong, who was standing beside black-robed old man, didn't make a move. When he shifted his gaze, he saw a familiar figure. Immediately, he gritted his teeth and said in a low voice, "We haven't seen each other for a few years. He has indeed become a monarch emperor, and his strength is even stronger than yours. But, who is that young man next to him? He doesn't look like Lin Dao, and he isn't that young man from the Shao clan either." Black-robed old man looked over when he heard this, and he immediately saw Mu Yuyang. His expression changed slightly, and he said in a soft voice, "Who cares who they are? If they offend me this time around, I will definitely kill them on the spot." Shui Gong spoke in a vicious manner. He tightened his grip on the Ghost King's spear. Back then, he had indeed been quite frightened by Mu Yuyang. All these years, the shadow in his heart had finally disappeared. However, it was obvious that it was still a nightmare that was buried deep within his heart. The only way to get rid of it was to defeat or kill Mu Yuyang. Of course, black-robed old man was expressionless. He also knew that the shadow that Mu Yuyang had given Shui Gong was deeply rooted in the latter's heart. For the sake of Shui Gang's future, this Mu Yuyang must be eliminated. Everyone, use your ultimate skill and attack the Dark Golden Beast's eye together. In the crowd, a middle-aged man in a golden robe soared into the sky. The robe was embroidered with a green python, which was extremely gorgeous. The man was tall and slim, and every movement he made was filled with the aura of a superior being. The leader of the Heavenly Python group, Xin Wei, still likes to show off as usual. But it's good that there's an organization, and it's much better than the chaotic scene right now. Black-robed old man looked at the middle-aged man and smiled. He didn't say anything. With Xin Wei leading the way, although everyone was hiding their ulterior motives, they understood that the chaotic bombardment would not cause much damage to the Dark Golden Beast. Immediately, under the leadership of their respective leaders, nearly 100 emperors unleashed their ultimate techniques and rushed towards the Dark Golden Beast's eyes. Boom! Nearly 100 Origin Monarch Chis rose up in an instant. Colorful Monarch skill shot towards the Dark Golden Beast like dazzling fireworks. The power contained within it caused the surrounding heavens and earth to change color. If these attacks hit a person, even a Monarch cultivation warrior would have to die. However, whether or not they could hit the Dark Golden Beast was another matter altogether. Hundreds of attacks were gathered in the eyes of the latter. Amidst the deafening explosion, they struck accurately. Roar! Although they had their eyelids to defend themselves, the attacks of nearly 100 people still caused the Dark Golden Beast to emit waves of painful roars. Its enormous body could not help but shake, causing the ground to tremble violently. Numerous bottomless cracks suddenly appeared, and some of the Emperor experts, who had no time to dodge, fell into the bottomless abyss. They could not be allowed to die. The miserable cries that came one after another caused the expressions of everyone to change. Only now did they recall that the enormous creature in front of them was still a heavenly beast. Even though its attack power was not high, a casual attack from it was not something that only the Emperor and the rest could withstand. The intense pain caused the Dark Golden Beast's eyelids to tremble uncontrollably. The pain that affected its eyes caused it to roar furiously. Its front claws kept hitting the ground, causing the ground to shake violently. The surrounding mountains kept shaking, as if they were going to collapse at any moment. The intense pain penetrated deep into its eyes. The Dark Golden Beast could not help but blink its eyes, hoping to reduce the pain. Now is the time. Nearly 20 Monarch Emperor-level warriors had been waiting for this moment. The moment the Dark Golden Beast blinked its eyes, nearly 20 streams of light suddenly rushed out, rushing towards the Dark Golden Beast's eyes. Compared to the Dark Golden Beast's huge body, everyone was only the size of its head. The violent emotion caused by the pain of these annoying flies instantly erupted. The Dark Golden Beast suddenly opened its huge mouth, and a sonic boom that could shatter a huge mountain suddenly roared out. The moment the dark golden beast opened its mouth, Mu Yuyang had already sensed it. Immediately, he took out the heavenly net sword. As the sword light surged, a defensive net formed by sword chi was formed in front of the two of them. Xiao Yan's reaction was not slow at all. Soul energy instantly surged out and wrapped around him and Mu Yuyang. Roar! An ear-splitting roar resounded across the sky, causing everyone's bodies to tremble. A few Monarch Emperor-level experts that couldn't dodge in time fell to the ground without feeling anything. They fell into the cracks, and there was no way for them to survive. There were also a few Monarch Emperor-level experts that were lucky enough to dodge, but they were also shocked by the huge sound waves. Blood flowed out from their eyes, nose, and mouth, and they felt dizzy. They endured the intense pain and fell to the ground. They no longer had the qualifications to fight for it. The Emperor-level experts on the ground were even more unbearable. Some of the weaker ones directly exploded and died. Those who were lucky enough to survive. The origin monarch chi within his body also buzzed. He no longer had the strength to stand. Good fellow, the corner of Xiao Yan's mouth twitched. When he saw the destructive force of this attack, he couldn't help but be startled. He stood in midair. There were less than 10 people. With just a sound wave, nearly 10 Monarch Emperor-level expert and countless emperors were killed. Mu Yuyang's head buzzed for a while before he regained his senses. His sword light protection only lasted for a moment before it dissipated. Luckily, he had Xiao Yan's soul defense. Otherwise, even he would have suffered serious injuries. It won't be able to unleash this attack in a short period of time. Now is the time to seize it. Mu Yuyang let out a soft cry while the others were still immersed in the influence of this sound wave. His body rushed forward. In an instant, he had already arrived in front of the dark golden beast's widened eyes. The heavenly net sword glow in his hand surged and pierced through it with a soft cry. Xiao Yan also followed closely behind. The sword light on the heavenly net sword surged like a brilliant light, piercing towards the dark golden beast's eyes. Just as the dark golden beast's sound wave roared out, the origin chi in its body stopped moving, and its reaction was much slower than before. In the face of Mu Yuyang's flying attack, it could only watch helplessly. Buzz! The tip of the sword pierced straight into the dark golden beast's eyes. Spiritual light overflowed in all directions, instantly piercing into the former's pupils. Ow! The intense pain instantly caused the dark golden beast to roar furiously. The furious roar that resounded through the sky almost shattered the rocks. Although Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang used the origin chi's protection at the same time, they were still shaken by the intense sound waves to the point that their eardrums buzzed. It's broken. They saw a few drops of blood spurting out from the dark golden beast's pupils. Mu Yuyang said anxiously. Xiao Yan, who was standing behind him, reacted quickly. His palm was covered with flames, and he grabbed the few drops of blood in an instant. The flames immediately burned away all the ordinary blood, leaving only a drop of blood that was wrapped in a layer of silver substance. I got it. Let's go. Seeing Xiao Yan grab it, Mu Yuyang's spirit was lifted, and then he laughed loudly and prepared to leave. Wait a minute, I need another drop. Xiao Yan let out a soft sigh. He hesitated a little when he heard Mu Yuyang's words and shook his head. Under the latter's puzzled expression, Xiao Yan's 5 fingers were like swords as he carried the crimson gold flame and attacked the dark golden beast's pupils. At the same time, the other Monarch Emperor-level experts recovered from their dizziness. When they saw that Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang had already obtained the essence blood of a dark golden beast, their expressions changed. They impatiently rushed forward and took advantage of the fact that the dark golden beast had yet to close its eyes. Although they did not understand what Xiao Yan was thinking, Mu Yuyang did not ask directly. His eyes focused, and the heavenly net sword in his hand swept out. A sword light surged out and intercepted a Monarch Emperor who was charging towards Xiao Yan. It's you? Mu Yuyang smiled playfully when he saw the man. This guy was the Shu Lia who had fought him earlier. The sneak attack was discovered by Mu Yuyang. Without saying a word, Shu Lia immediately retreated. Mu Yuyang only glanced at them, but he didn't chase after them. His eyes swept across the crowd, completely deterring some Monarch Emperor experts who had ill intentions. Even they wouldn't dare to face the #1 expert of the Yunluo. The flaming palm struck the dark golden beast's pupils. It once again grabbed some of the blood that was flowing out. In an instant, it incinerated the dark golden beast. The remaining 2 drops of blood essence, which were glowing with a golden light, could be felt from their hands. It was a thick earthen pressure. Roar! The dark golden beast roared furiously. Its eyelids were finally slowly shut, causing the few Monarch Emperor warriors who had rushed over to miss their target. Damn it! When they saw the dark golden beast close its eyes, all of these Monarch Emperor warriors had gloomy expressions. After which, they turned their gazes towards Xiao Yan and Mu Yuyang, who had 3 drops of blood essence in their hands. With a slight movement of their bodies, they had already surrounded the 2 of them. Mu Yuyang, ask your companion to give me a drop of blood essence. I, the profound spirit sect, will not interfere in this matter. A bald old man wearing a purple robe took a step forward and looked coldly at the others. After that, he said with a smile on his face, Wan Laoshan, you are dreaming. You are just a monarch emperor, and you still want to take away a drop of your blood essence? Xin Dawang, the leader of the Heavenly Python Gang, who had called for everyone to attack together, laughed out loud. His tone was full of disdain. After that, he looked at Mu Yuyang and said, I really admire your elder Xiao. How about this? Give me a drop of your blood essence, and my brother and I will leave immediately. After saying that, a middle-aged man in green clothes stepped forward from behind him. Judging from his aura, he had reached the Monarch Emperor. Xiao Yan clenched the 3 drops of essence blood tightly. He looked at the numerous Monarch Emperor around him and immediately made a plan in his heart. There were a total of 12 of them. If they attacked in a group, they would not be able to withstand it. Fortunately, these people had ulterior motives. They were also afraid of Mu Yuyang's reputation, which was why they did not attack. In this situation, if they wanted to escape successfully, they had to give up a drop of blood essence. However, how could they give up that drop of blood essence to maximize their benefits? Xiao Yan's facial expression didn't change. He glanced at Mu Yuyang, who was standing beside him. The latter was also expressionless. No one knew what he was thinking. After listening to Xin Wei's words, Mu Yuyang suddenly said with a smile, I know Sect Master Xin is called Elder Xiao, but unfortunately, these few drops of blood essence were requested by Sect Master Xiao. If I give them to Sect Master Xin, it will be difficult for me to report back to Sect Master Xin. As soon as Mu Yuyang's voice faded, a thunderous, cold laugh exploded in everyone's ears from afar. Go back? Do you want to return alive? Hearing this, even black-robed old man and Shui Gong, who had been watching coldly from the sidelines, had a trace of shock in their eyes. They couldn't help but look at the speaker. A bald man with a hideous scar on his face was topless. The muscles on his body were bulging, and there was an evil dragon carved on his chest. The former looked at Mu Yuyang with a ferocious expression, and his eyes were filled with ferocity. It's the Monarch Emperor from the barbarian dragon tribe. He's really brave. Black-robed old man muttered to himself when he saw the bald man, regardless of whether it was Wan Laoshan or Xin Wei. Even he himself, who had stepped into the Monarch Emperor for many years, didn't dare to speak to Mu Yuyang in such a way. This man who had just stepped into the Monarch Emperor had a violent temper. Mu Yuyang frowned, and a cold look flashed across his eyes. His indifferent gaze swept across the people around him, and he said, on the Yunluo's ranking, the number of people on my list is worth 1.5 billion monarch crystals. I think there are also many people among you who have designs on me. As his voice faded, Mu Yuyang's body suddenly turned into a bolt of lightning, and the heavenly net sword in his hand split open the space. He instantly arrived in front of the Monarch Emperor man who had spoken earlier. Light surged on the blade of the sword as it quietly cut down. The instant Mu Yuyang moved, Xiao Yan sensed that the origin monarch chi within the former's body had gathered together. The instant it approached the bald man, the origin monarch chi suddenly exploded, releasing an incomparably great lethality. Ah! With a swing of the sword, one of the bald man's arms had already been separated from his body. As the former cried out in pain, fresh blood sprayed out from his broken arm, filling the sky. After which, his body fell to the ground with a loud bang, falling into the crack on the ground. After killing a Monarch Emperor warrior with a single strike, Mu Yuyang returned to Xiao Yan's side with an expressionless face. With a flick of his wrist, the heavenly net sword disappeared. These 3 drops of blood essence will not be given a single drop. Whoever wants it, use your life to take it. He looked coldly at the people around him. Mu Yuyang's voice was like an unmelting ice, causing them to unconsciously tremble. Xiao Yan silently looked at Mu Yuyang, who was standing beside him. He smiled bitterly in his heart. In order to intimidate everyone, Mu Yuyang had unleashed almost all the remaining Origin Monarch Qis in his body. Currently, Mu Yuyang was very weak. If one's spiritual strength was outstanding, one would be able to see that the latter was putting on an act at a glance. Even so, the surrounding people were still intimidated by Mu Yuyang's domineering words. Even Shui Gong, who wanted to defeat Mu Yuyang wholeheartedly, had a pale face at this moment. He had killed a monarch emperor with a single strike of his sword. This kind of strength. Hong Long, this kid's strength is actually already so strong. Black-robed old man was shocked as well. After that, he felt bitter in his mouth. The thick killing intent in his heart had also dissipated a lot. With the strength that Mu Yuyang had displayed, if they really fought, he might not be able to win. For a moment, the remaining 11 Monarch Emperor fell into silence, and no one said anything. The dark golden beast behind him closed its eyes and laid on the ground quietly, allowing the group of humans to kill each other.